it's Naim in the house. Can I get a well done for hitting your, so what were we at? We're at like 12.4?
11.8.
11.8.
It's a miscalculation.
11.8. That's cool. All right. Well done for that.
Thank you.
Was there any hesitations around joining us?
Actually, no, at all. At all. For me, when I catch you on
I thought you were really skeptical. Sorry, I was coming from my view of like you're a skeptic.
I'm not a skeptic. It's just only when the payment happened. I'm just much more comfortable not giving my details of the card. I just like to put them myself. You know what I mean? Because that's it. No, but at all. Actually, I was searching for someone who can actually help me through this, because I never been a consultant or a coach before. I was a trainer, an educator, education manager doing that, but doing this kind of business, it was really like something new for me. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to start. So I started website, doing this, reading. And then I was, I just found you on Clubhouse. You see, like Clubhouse doesn't work here. I have VPN. So I just jumped over there. Following Daniel Priestley, and you were there. Yeah, because I read his book, and it's really inspiring.
Nice.
It gave me lots of things to think. I was actually working on his method without thing, and then you were there, and you were saying that you're a coach for consulting. Just fuck, jackpot! Yes, that's the guy that I want. So you said that now you just if you want that call, just message me, and then I just logged out and so they started waiting, because khalas, I knew what I wanted. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really hesitant, because that's what I wanted. It's not the first time I do coaching, and I'm waiting for someone who can actually do that. And so I was looking forward to receive that call. I wasn't really skeptic at all.
Oh, okay. It's only because on our live call the other day, because of that. But anyway,
I'm skeptic only about the payment process. That's it. I went there and said, like, okay, how much budget do I have? How much budget do I have? Because I was really tight on budget between my personal budget and my business budget. I thought, if it's within this range, then fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay, and actually it was slightly less than what I budgeted for, which is basically slightly less. So yeah, it was no objection for me. I just jumped right away.
Oh, amazing. So where were you before you joined us? Where were you in terms of your business, your messaging?
I was lost.
Sales process?
Nothing. Nice. Okay, so this is what I do. I'm okay. I've been in the industry for a really long time here, so the market knows me pretty well. So 12 years. So all the big salons, they know me very well. I have a good name. So I was counting that this is what I'm going to do. And the last time I did, I just contracted a person for 2 years. Company I was working exclusively for them, helped them build that business and grow from 8 branches to now 22 branches. Okay, so and I finished my contract. They didn't want to renew because it was too much work and not enough pay. And I thought I wanted to do something different. So I don't want to be exclusive anymore for specific clients. I want to do it to multiple clients, and maybe I should not do what I did. I did something that is much more concise, because I end up doing things that I don't really like. When you sign a contract for big companies, sometimes you end up doing things that you know how to do, but you don't really enjoy. So that's basically where I was at. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. Never thought about it online yet. I just still wanted to do it face-to-face, but more on kind of taking multiple clients at the same time, digging more into customizing what their needs. So I created 7 steps consulting kind of process. However, my price really was super expensive. So all the people that I met, they were super excited. Naim, we know you, we know the magic that you can do and all this stuff, but this is too much. Okay. So that's when I started to find the different way, because today, if I want to do it less, then I will end up with peanuts, because it's still going to take lots of my time doing it face-to-face, being with them, meeting on the ground and all this stuff. It's not. And then then you said like you said 3 magic words. Okay, really? Okay, so do okay,
what are they?
Without the hassle, without having to post day in day out on social media, because I got all the gear, and I wanted to start creating
all the gear and no idea.
all this to start promote myself on Instagram and all this
Yeah,
stuff. You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And just like I said, is that even possible? Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And you said something that you can make like kind of you can take as many clients as you want, something go online. I said, online? How the fuck didn't I think about it? Does it really even work?
So let
I
me
don't know how to
interject
take it.
real. Let me
I
interject.
really don't know how
I
to
love
take it
that.
online.
So once, so like you know you're good at what you do. You have your information, but you had no proven sales process. You had no construct of how you're going to put it into an online message,
Yeah,
and
nothing.
you had a view of the fact that you were going to have to do all of this posting on Instagram, you know, all of this concept that you thought that you needed. And it was that actually you can make this happen without that. Not saying that it's not relevant, but you need to get paid clients in first, then
Yeah,
scale the
totally.
message. And I don't think people get that, but I'm glad that. So how were you? Because like a lot of people don't get that, dude. They you know they I don't know, they just assume like today's assumption is that you actually have to, you know, pump out free content every day, post daily in order to
Yeah.
get clients. So why were you curious? Why were you like, why were you so open to listening to that? Because as I said, most people never get that. Was there, did, had you tried it before and it had, you know, because my point is, had you tried it before and it didn't work, or how did you just go like, shit, I'm open to see if this is working better and it's easier? Or
I still didn't get the question.
the question
Sorry.
is, that's so good. The question
Mm.
is like, most people are not open to the fact that you do not have to build an Instagram account, have a podcast, you know, blogging, all of those things. Most people are
Ah,
not open to the fact that they actually don't need that. You
no.
need a paid process first,
Mm.
and then you need to build out, like, so for example, it's like social media presence versus paid clients, right? Get paid clients in, structure, then build social media presence. Why were you so open to that? And the point is, had you tried social media presence, or you just looking at thinking that it makes no sense?
No, it's just for me, I know it doesn't work because I've
Okay,
been
how? That's what I
how
want
do
to
I,
know. How did you?
because this is what I do with my clients. Like most of the salons,
Right,
they're posting every day.
got it.
Okay,
That makes
every
sense.
day they're doing all this
And
social
not
media.
really getting
How to
results.
they're not. I know it
Wow.
doesn't work, and I know influencer campaigns doesn't work, and I know all this chat, and then you know, but I needed
It's not that
to
it doesn't work. Influencer campaigns can work once the message dialed in, once, you know, like once you have structures in that are proven that you can get paid clients in. If you
mm,
can't get paid clients in and you're trying to do an influencer campaign, you're trying to do this. The influencer campaign is expand reach, but message is not dialed in.
yeah.
Therefore, that's very good.
Yeah,
Very
so
helpful.
that's why I was very like kind of I didn't want to go down road, but I wanted to build my presence. So when someone actually checks me in, there should be something useful there, you
Mm.
know? Because my current Instagram, I don't know if you saw it, there was only based on things that I've done backstage, pictures from here and there. I wasn't really active on Instagram. And I said, okay, I need to create some content, anything, some video stuff, just to show that I'm a coach. So when I basically, because that's the word out there. When you say that's what I do, I'm a consultant, they just check you on Instagram. Okay, what do you have? So you know what I mean? So I was preparing all this because I wanted to create something just to prepare my my Instagram page and start finding way. Actually, I have no clue what I'm supposed to do. So I was just like following what I think it should
Mm.
work, you know?
Okay, got it. So what's been the best about the process so far? You're still early days, you know, like what have you enjoyed the most about COA? Sometimes people say like the closer process, dialing down, you know, the offer codex, getting clear on the messaging so that works, the feedback on the
Yeah.
messaging. What
I'm
do you think so
enjoying
far?
actually, I'm enjoying technically everything, really. Because everything is just learning for me. So everything is just like, wow, nice. You know, like I said, like this world was totally something new for me in that context. So the closer process, actually, I'm loving the closer process. However, I feel that it needs to be tweaked more into my kind of, so I'm trying to tweak it more because it works more like some people when they have their own business, like it's a hairdresser who really invested lots of emotions and heart, let's say, in his business. He relates a lot with certain questions when you can actually drag that pain and that emotions. But when it's like a business person or investor, he's not into much that, so you don't really get that emotion out of them. You know what I mean? When you're doing that. So I focus more on the numbers and the wins and all the stuff, and the opportunities there that is missing on. So for example, simply question how much you're making now. Okay, tell me more about your salon. Okay, you have a potential of doing that, of achieving that with your current situation. Do you want to do that? You know what I mean? Okay. So it depends. It works, but I'm loving the silence part.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's
I didn't get it. I didn't get it until I listened to the part where I think Eric was closing someone and just dead silent for like 5 minutes.
And again, people know that. Like most people have had sort of understanding around it, but it's again having a authentic process around it. The truth is, it's actually allowing someone to come to a decision on their own rather than any forced manipulation, any sort of, all right, this is what we do now. It's like old school, like the new update. I've got some really exciting, updates onto it, because the consultation process is actually completely reverse engineered. So there isn't actually a sales in it. It's a close themselves process where once you get really, really good and you've knocked out, the objections that are holding them back and they're cool and comfortable with the process, they are closing themselves. For many years, people would constantly say to me, that was so different to anything else I've experienced, because I'm not forcing them down a road. I'm not forcing them to make a sale. It's a two-way communication where if it's not the right fit for both parties, that will become very, very apparent. And the amount of times people have said, I've never paid like that or had an experience like that allowed me to be really clear on the problem, really clear on the process, really comfortable with the outcome, and then as a byproduct have an amazing service throughout. What's been the highlight of the support so far? Because the support, I think, in today's market is what most programs miss. Most people have bought program, have read books, not used them, listened to podcasts, not used it, bought program, not used it. And so we're really amping down on support and the structures of the support. Is there anything specifically that highlights for you so far, as in the best, those elements? Maybe it's the consultation clinics twice a week with myself, or
the live sessions are amazing, dude. The live sessions are brilliant because that's when you get things cleared out. It's just like the resources are amazing when you get there, but they don't really come to your head to just go there and search what do we have in resources so I can find my answers. Okay, and then so
is it because you're quite logical, right? And like I noticed when we speak on the sessions, do you find yourself thinking a lot? Like, is there any way, how you process information? Because what we do is we think about, I'm sure you know this, people process information in different regards.
Yeah.
We cover all of those elements and compound on those elements all the time. So, the visual, text, audio, one-to-one, one-to-many, multiple.
I do overthink things a lot, and that's basically it's been one of my challenges. That's why things come slow, because I totally overthink stuff.
Not at all. It's so you have an awareness of that. I think it's been fast for you. It's just people have this expectation of it in like 2 or 3 days, which is fine. It is what it is. It's been rapid in my view. From your perspective, you've got really high converting assets, and you're seeing a return very fast. However, most people 100% overthink and spend their whole life just overthink, and without talking it out, never get that clarity. So would you say that talking out has allowed you to really be clearer, faster?
You see, like no matter how answers, I always have questions. That's the thing. So I'm that kind of guy. So I'm always like, there's lots of
You will run out of questions, I promise.
what ifs. There's always what ifs. There's always what's next. There's always how can I do it better. There's always
Well, that's good.
what's happening, and
How
I'm
I
not
can do
sure if
better
it's
is good.
yeah. Yes and no, because I sometimes I stand in one single point doing the same thing and doing it all over and repeating it and redoing it until it gets better.
But it's
Okay,
understanding those
and it
stats
stops
though.
me from moving. And
No, but
that's
I hear you. Here, I'm going to interject that. It's understanding the stats, though. So, for example, most people don't get what you're saying is great, refining, refining, refining. But the only way of knowing whether it's working well or not is by looking at the stats. It's got nothing to do with your personal, whether you believe you're good enough, which people don't get this. This is a really important part. Like it's refine, look at stats. Stats give us feedback, right? Refine off stats and that's it. And then, like, your conversion front end is very, very high, which means that it's very low to acquire a client. And then therefore we start looking at stats of increasing closing rate so that we know that that system is dialed down, as you said, fine-tuned. But look, do you think, so what would you say to someone if they were on the edge of joining us? What would you say to them in order to get them off the fence? Because like the cost of not joining, first, what would have been the cost of not having the support, the structures, the systems, the processes? What do you believe the cost for you not joining would have been for you?
more confusion, more trials and errors. I would be just like trying
But how
too
long
many
would have that
different
taken
things.
you
Woof.
to get to where you are now?
To where would I get now? It should have.
How long would it have
With
cost you to get to where you are now without us?
I don't know. It could have taken at least a year, if not more, until I discovered this by myself.
Cool. So we shaved off a year to speed up that process.
Maybe more. Maybe more.
It could have cost you a lot more in terms of money, though.
Oh yes, of course. It's gonna cost me in terms of money. Yeah, because I wouldn't be generating that fast. Yeah, and from what I was doing, I was trying to do, and the outcome or the reactions, okay, was basically I would not. Yeah.
So the real cost of that is the loss of, as a minimum, 10K a month, which obviously is expanding as we go along. So that's a minimum of 120,000 loss in a year, just cost of not joining. So therefore, what would you say to someone who was on the edge of joining? What would you tell them?
That would be the best investment of your life, man, if you want to do that, simply. It's just like, if you don't get this, you're screwed, literally. Because really, if I didn't really join that, I'm totally screwed. And the other day I was thinking about it. If I didn't really learn what I learned so far, I might be, by now, I should be basically searching for another job. You know what I mean? Because I was totally lost, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to scale up, didn't know how to really take my skills out there in a way that basically people would buy, and I could reach to a massive amount of people. And yeah.
What would how's my personal support been for you? Give us a 1, I hate Ed, 10, Ed's okay.
This dude irritates me, man. It's like no, man. No, it's awesome, really enjoy. It's very, very, like, I can sense that you've been through almost every fucking single scenario in this, and you know your shit very well. So you covered it also, and that's so cool. You're very generous when you are giving ideas, and I love that, because I'm the kind of guy who's really enjoy people, someone who's really genuine and really giving generous from the heart information. You feel it, it's not just like, yeah, do this and do that and just like fuck off. You know what I mean? It's just like because there is people like that. Yeah,
100%. I think in the online space, most people have experienced, a program of some sort, and it is very much do this and fuck off.
Exactly. So
and I've tested all of the others, so I know, I've experienced it firsthand. But yeah, dude, look, I really appreciate you. It doesn't work without people like you. It works because, like, we really do focus on alignment, and we don't take on anyone. And that's a big strong. And if they're not in alignment and we don't believe that they share the same values, we won't take them on board. So we're very specific about that, so that, we can work with people that can appreciate it. And today, unfortunately, there is a lot of ego, and a lot of people claim they know everything and yet don't have a result or proven process in place. And look, I feel sorry for a lot of people in that regard, but there's not a lot I can do with that. So, it is what it is. We have to decline a higher percentage of people to even though that and it's got nothing to do with the money. they've got the money, they want to, and we have to decline because we're going to be, it's going to be difficult.
That statement, I think it was mentioned in the pre-call or somewhere. That statement made lots of sense to me, and that basically gave me more trust that I should join.
What was it?
That you pick the people that you work with, okay, and because I'm this kind of person. I want to work with people that basically I can really add value. Otherwise, I don't want to just keep babysitting everyone, all the time. So it's either you're determined or not. So when I read this, it's just like, fuck. Okay, that's definitely something I want to be, because I want to be there, because if that's their philosophy, their view, okay, that's exactly what I want. And I mean, it's something that basically, you know what I mean? It's very powerful for me, this part.
It's like, it's the God's honest truth. And people don't really, they think that that's some sort of reverse psychology, like, oh yeah, they'll take anyone. And we really are very strong on that. The point is because you cannot help someone that doesn't really want to be helped. And like on a daily basis, we get people, messaging that are rude to the team. If they're rude to the team, or they're arguing with a bot, it is what it is. They can go find someone else. And if they can't be open and coachable, the whole process falls down. And it's something for you to consider as you start to, I feel like most people, especially when they're starting out, they want that, like it's a concept that they get, but they feel like, shit, I need to take on this client in order to, pay the monthlies, which is actually right off the back. You do not need to take people that again are not coachable and are not aware of the fact that they are either delusional or hard to work with. They think that they are. It's entitlement. It's a combination of it's a combination of far too much information in the world today, and everyone has a touch point of what they think that they need, but not really the actual support process to get outcome. So look, it'd be strong on that, and it will pay a dividend, not because it's a reverse psychology process, because you work with great people, and it's so much easier. It's so much easier to work with people that are easy, and it's so much easier. But dude, look, I appreciate you so much. Let's get your next step sorted.